Welcome to the Blerdsnerds podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Blerdsnerds podcast. I'm Shannon.
James.
I'm Jaja.
And we're back bringing you all our thoughts on everything happening in nerd culture. If it is your first time joining us, make sure to subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. We show a lot of visuals on here, so subscription to the YouTube is always encouraged. Additionally, if you listen to podcast formats, you can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your podcast listening app of choice. What's up, guys? What have you guys been up to this week? What's going on?
Some regular old watching.
What are you watching,
Watching and
James?
gaming. Actually, not that much. So last week I watched a lot, but this week, just my usual shows. So Solo Leveling had the finale, absolute banger, of course. Ready for the next part. Still watching Trillion Game. It's relevant to some current things going on. So it's about a tech company basically, and their goal is to be valued at $1 trillion. But the way they're going about it is like first they were making a game. Well, not first, but one of the things they were doing is making a game. Now they're trying to make a streaming service essentially. So it's kind of like they tie in things that are relevant to today about like monopolies and stuff like that. So it's really interesting. Dr. Stone, this part's finale happened. Absolute fire. And still playing Astrobot. So having a whole lot of fun with that.
Nice. Are you you're on your reading break still? Gotcha.
Yeah, actually, I'm starting back up this week. So.
Oh, okay. And what are you starting with?
Children of Blood and Bone, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I was waiting for. Great thing to start up with. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on that, James.
Yep, it'll be April.
Yes. And I think, is the third book out? Are you gonna read all of them, like back to back?
If I like the first one enough.
What'd you say?
If I like the first one enough.
That's true. You will, though. You will. It's very good.
Take your word for it.
Hold on, sorry. I'm just trying to see if the third book came out already. I think it did. Yes.
But since I've been reading and stuff, so my different algorithms are suggesting more books to me. So more and more books are being added to my Goodreads of my want to read books. So
nice. Maybe I will reread Children of Blood and Bone again. This will be my third time reading the first book since the third book came out, and I don't remember what happened.
It must be really good.
Yeah. So yeah, because I read it, then I read it again when the second book came out. Now the third book is out, so I'll read it again. So I can really remember the whole thing. So maybe I'll do that while you're reading also, since I am in between books right now.
Oh wait, maybe I should check to see if I can even rent it.
Oh, look at that.
But that's the plan. The plan is to read that.
Okay.
I'm sure worst case, I'll just have to buy it, but it should be in the library.
It's not the worst case to support a Black author by buying.
I mean, worst case as in it's not being available.
It's good for the author.
I'm a supporter of library. I actually just donated to my local library.
Oh, did you? That's nice. Yeah. You should buy it if it's not available in the library, or but we'll see. Jaja, what have you been up to?
Been a little busy this week. They got double XP weekend, so I've been playing Call of Duty. Still on and off Power World. I downloaded Atomfall. I'm trying to stick to Avowed, but I might jump into Atomfall because it looks amazing.
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
It's a new game for Game Pass. It's like an open world survival game, but more in like they said the gameplay is more like Elden Ring because it just throws you in the game and doesn't tell you what to do, and you got to figure stuff out by yourself.
No context, no story.
It looks absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to check that out. I have been reading Project Preservation. Started that up again, so I read a couple chapters, and I was just making a joke about like them just like shooting laser beams at each other like Dragon Ball Z style. But yeah, that's what's going on in this book right now. We got energy blasts going on left and right, so I'm here for it. I'm gonna finish it out, and hopefully there's a big conclusion to the story that satisfies me at least. But so far, it's still got me. I'm not mad at the book. And what else? I watched the Nintendo Direct. We got another one coming up this week on the 2nd for the Switch 2, so be watching that. I'm watching Solo Leveling has become my workout show. So I get on the treadmill and I put on Solo Leveling, and I did that this week. So that's why I'm kind of like slow because I don't want to watch it at home because it's a show that I'm paying attention. I'm it's helping me on the treadmill, put it like that. So I am watching Solo Leveling, and I finished Invincible. To talk
Good.
about that a little bit later.
Nice.
Uh, I got a new anime for you guys. I don't know
Okay.
how this one slipped by us in 2024. I don't know exactly when it came out last year, but it's called Ishura, Ishura. And it's basically, if you're looking for like an action fighting anime, it's pretty cool. I'm on like the fifth or sixth episode, and so far, it seems like they're setting up all these different heroes to like have a tournament. It seems like because the premise of the show is the Demon King is dead. Someone slayed the Demon King, but they don't know who the hero is that slayed the Demon King. So apparently, I guess they're gonna hold the tournament and try and find who the hero is. And they're setting up all these like each episode is focused on a character or some type of scenario that introduces like it seems like a champion that is then gonna go do what they fight in this tournament. So far it's been just like showing off what everybody can do. So it's been pretty good.
Interesting.
Um and up to date in Daredevil, they dropped 2 episodes this week, so that was
Good.
pretty cool.
It's kind of random for them to drop
Yeah,
two, but
yeah. How many is supposed to be in the whole season? Do you
9.
know? 9? Okay. Okay, all right.
So I
We're
think
getting there. I'm not mad at the show. It's getting better and better. We can talk about that later, but it's been pretty good. And then I went and watched the Marvels.
oh, I
So
forgot that you still have not seen that. I
yeah.
just tell me what you thought of it now. We don't even have to save it.
I thought it was okay. If you want my casual movie critic review, I'm not taking the movie seriously because it didn't take itself seriously.
No,
It
it
was
didn't.
okay. But if I put on my movie review critic hat, I'm like, yo, this is like a joke. Like I feel like I can kind of go in on the movie, but not go in, but just point out certain things that are just like for instance, I thought the whole fight in Kamala's living room in the beginning was hilarious, and her parents are just getting smacked around while they're fighting in the middle of the fight. No one told me this was gonna be a musical. We had a whole musical segment, singing and dancing, and that was pretty cool.
Was
I
it?
felt
Was
like that
it?
was just
Was it cool? Is that what you would use to describe that
I'm
part?
being sarcastic.
I'm about to
But
say it's cringy. I forgot about that. Oh, actually, I blocked that part out my
yeah,
memory.
I feel like that whole thing was just to get off the joke for Kamala Khan to get off her fanfare joke about how Monica was like, oh, then you must be getting like your fanfare fantasies right now, and she was like, oh yes, and I'm like, this was all for that joke. And then we got Goose the cat, who is literally eating. No, wait, first of all, the stuff. No, let me even go back a little bit. They synchronized their powers in like a half hour. They like this movie feels like it happened in a day. And they did this whole montage where they had to sync up their powers because if the one used it if they both use them at the same time, they're gonna switch. And they did that on like a ride to a planet. So I thought that was pretty funny. But I'm not taking the movie too seriously. And then we got the cat. I mean, we got Mr. Fury, who's having power outages just because of what's going on with them, and like nobody else is being affected. But Fury, he's just having power outages because of these girls. And then we got the cat who's gonna eat everybody on the spaceship to save them, and that was pretty ridiculous. And I can't remember my last thing, but I'm like, it was pretty ridiculous movie, but it didn't seem like it was taking itself seriously. So I halfway through the movie, I'm like, you know what? Like just enjoy the movie for what it is. It's not really trying to like be this super serious movie that you gotta critique like this. So I thought it was cool. It was funny. Kamala Khan has held it down. No one told me she's the new Nick Fury, by the way. I thought that was cool.
Oh, for the Young Avengers, which I
Mhm.
am almost certain we'll never see. But
No, they just announced Champions.
did they announce it? Wait, no, they didn't. Where
There's a show they're making called Champions that's supposed to
are
focus
they?
around the young Avengers.
Wait, I love the
That's the
Champions.
rumor.
I read
Yeah.
I, I read a lot of the Champions run when I had a Marvel Unlimited subscription. Wait, where did
Mhm.
they announce that?
It just announced like this past week. I read something.
Like a live action or a cartoon?
I think it's a live action. And I think they said somebody who's supposed to be in it. That's why they're speculating that it's going to be the Young Avengers.
Uh,
But I will look it up while we're talking.
yeah, because
And
I'm trying to look it up now. And I always wondered like if they were gonna go in a champion's direction instead of Young Avengers because like Kamala Khan, she was in the champions and so was Miles Morales was in champions for a little while too.
It
A
got
lot of
my
them were
attention.
yeah, a lot of them were in champions instead of Young Avengers, or did they eventually go to Young Avengers? I don't know, something like that. But so I was always wondering if they were gonna do that or if they were just gonna like forget about the champions and just make them the Young
so
Avengers.
I'm sorry. I don't think it was an official announcement. It's a rumor, but it looks like they're going to start filming in 2026. It's supposed to come out sometime after Secret Wars. I think they're looking for a showrunner right now. Uh,
Interesting.
yeah, I think the show's being called Champions. It could be just a working title.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
did.
yeah, there's rumors coming out about that. And I'm watching when I was watching the Marvels or Daredevil, they introduced somebody. Oh, Kamala Khan. No, who's the latest one that they introduced that I was like that where I had to really go back and count how many like potential young Avengers that they've introduced so far, and it's like I think I counted like over 15.
If it is champions, it's kind of weird that they're going in that direction instead of just a Young Avengers direction. Like I was almost certain that they were just gonna like just take the champions and just call them the Young Avengers, like for the purposes of the MCU. But
Mhm.
it'll be interesting if they actually name them champions. But that's exciting because I love that. I love that comic. So that's cool if that's true. So I guess we'll see. Question for you though. Did you watch the Marvels because of Daredevil this week, or were you already just gonna watch it anyway?
No, Daredevil
It made you
made
watch
me
it?
want to go watch it. Like I'm expecting Miss Marvel and the Marvels like viewership to have gone up because of Daredevil and how and her dad was in the latest episode, so that was pretty cool. And he kept saying her name, so to Daredevil who does not know who she is. So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right,
I
she's
thought it was
important.
I thought it
This
was too much shameless plugging of the show, honestly, because it's like I thought they were doing a little bit too much in the episode when they were talking about her, but we can talk about it. We can save it for when we talk about the episode. I'm like when he picked up her Funko Pop, I'm like, all right, this is too much now. But it's cool.
no,
It's cool.
the part that got me was when they were unlocking the safe, and he said something like, "Oh, this is like when I tried to get Kamala Khan something for her birthday." Like he said something that was like, he don't know who your daughter is. So like even the way you said it, it was like it was to the viewer. Like, remember Kamala Khan, I'm her dad. So it was cool. I wasn't like mad at it though. It was shameless plugging.
It was a lot.
Agreed.
All right, anything else that you did, Jaja, this week?
That's it. That's it for
Okay.
me.
I didn't do much. I did a little bit. I played Elden Ring, so I still haven't beat Melania, but I've decided to move past her because I love my sanity. So I have moved on, and I am at the end of the game. Now I'm stuck at the Elden Beast.
Nice.
So I tried that, tried a solid 10 times on Friday, turned the game off, turned the game on this morning, tried to see if like anything came to me. No, still haven't beaten it yet. So I'm stuck there now. So it's fine. But it's okay because I watched a couple videos on like the best strategy if you're playing as a mage to beat the Elden Ring, to beat Elden Beast. So I'm gonna go back in after this and try it again. And I am convinced that this time will be the time. James, how many how many times did you play did it take for you to beat the Elden Beast? I think you told me this already, but I forgot.
38.
38. He's pretty,
So I
yeah,
think Radagon probably was harder to me than the Elden Beast. So it's the two part.
yeah.
But I was like a melee character, so I was surprised that wait, was Radagon tough for you? Because he like deflects any ranged.
Uh, he's so yes, Radigan is hard, but I've kind of like mastered him at this point. Now I just keep dying to the Elden
Nice.
Beast because I don't know, because I don't know if you use the summon at all when you beat Radigan or if you just did it yourself.
I think I don't remember where I used my summon.
Okay, because I definitely
I
so
have Mimic Tier. That's the only one I had.
yeah, so I have been using my summon for Radigan, so it's easy. He's easy because like when the summon is like he's distracted trying to kill the summon, and then me, it's easy for me because then I can just stay far away and just like throw spells at him. But then it's like my summon is dead by the time I get to Elden Beast, or like almost dead, and then he dies, and then it's just like it's harder for me to get it. I just don't think I was using the right strategy of spells. So now I have a little bit of a better idea of how I should go about it. So I'm gonna try again. But I was just going in there, no real strategy. I'm just annoyed at the game at this point. Just I'm just trying to beat the game. But I'm a little bit annoyed that I didn't beat Melania and I had to. But I'm gonna try to go back and after I beat the game, I'll try to go back and try to kill her and see
Once you
what's
get
going on
even
there.
stronger.
I feel like I'm already pretty over leveled. Maybe I just suck, guys. I don't know. But this is up to this point in the game is definitely giving me a run for my money. Like I can't say that I've really struggled a lot, like leading up to this point. So I'm a little bit annoyed, but it's okay.
End
Um,
game. That's what they
hmm,
got you. They got you in the end game.
yep. And then I was gonna buy Assassin's Creed, but I was like, I'm not buying Assassin's Creed right now. Let me just finish the games that I have before I spend my money. I'm trying to be more budget conscious. So I will buy that game after I finish Elden Ring and I decide if I'm gonna jump into the DLC or not. So yeah.
Nice.
So I've been playing that. What else have I been doing? I'm still on a weird, still haven't watched any anime this week. I'm on a weird anime break, but I'm gonna pick that up later. I watched Daredevil, so keeping up with that. I so I failed on my podcast homework. I said I was gonna watch Paradise, but I didn't watch it. And that's because I've been watching Severance. Severance has sucked me in. I'm sorry, guys. So I was like watching that instead of watching Paradise. Severance is so good, guys. You guys have to watch Severance. It's so
You didn't send the login.
you didn't ask for it, Jaja. I forgot. You should have asked for it. You should have texted me. That's how I know you didn't really want to watch it because you didn't
I
text
did.
me
I
ask
thought
for it.
about it, but then I ended up watching Daredevil, and then that led me to the Marvels, and then I found it. I watched a lot of stuff this week, so
Okay.
yeah.
But yeah, Severance is so good. So I've been watching that. Like I was off the last half of
Oh,
this week, so I was watching that the whole time.
and just to prove that I was thinking about it, I went back and rethought the conversation we had about
Mm.
would you be able to survive at your job and how terrifying I thought it was, and then I'm like, how does okay, Google, Microsoft, I get it, they're good jobs, but what can I really be there 24/7, 365? And then I remembered my days over there, and I was like, this wouldn't be the worst job to be like stuck at. This is definitely far from the worst job to be stuck at. But yeah, for like 80% of jobs out there, I think that's a nightmare.
Yeah, it very much depends on your work environment. You know what I mean? But then again, you like you wouldn't even. Yeah, it depends on your job. Like I would not want to spend every day of what seems like my life stuck at.
Anywhere else.
No,
don't,
that's not
even,
necessarily true.
don't call out nobody's job right
No, I'm not. I'm not. But I was reading an article the other day, and it was like something like 80% of like Gen Z would choose to like be severed if it was a real thing. And I'm like, of course.
now.
But and then there was just a lot of comments about how Gen Z doesn't work anyway. I'm not subscribing to that. I'm just saying what the people in the comments were saying. But it was interesting to see that. But
Yeah,
I don't
shout out to this Gen Z fans.
as you get further into the show, you kind of realize like I don't know. There are a lot of downsides to having done that if you do that. So I don't know. James, would you want to be stuck at your job 24 hours a day? Your
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't even want to be stuck at home 24 hours a day. As much as I
yeah.
like being home, but I
It's
think
true.
even on vacations, I'd be ready to go home.
Yeah.
I don't like being anywhere for a whole lot of time.
I mean, the question, that's not do you want to, is like if you had to do this, like would do you think your job path would survive? Like, like do you think he would go crazy, or would he be begging to leave, or
My job, no, I don't think so.
not?
It's ups and downs. It's not like constantly stuff going on.
Yeah.
There's like high periods, low periods.
I don't know. I think that like again, but you would never know because that's the whole
Yeah,
premise.
yeah,
Like
that's the
you would
thing.
never know if your work self was suffering or not. But like I think anybody's work self would be suffering if like your work self was there and it just
I
felt like
agree.
they were there all the time. So I think anyone would suffer from that eventually. And then really like you're not able to get out. because it's like your outside self, which is basically the same. You're the same person. Gonna be like, no, uh, I'm making nice money, so you stay down there and work. It's a very interesting. You guys definitely should watch it. It's very, very good.
Yeah, I'll
Uh,
check it out.
hmm, really, James? Will you check it out?
Well, I got some reading to do. I got to play Astrobot.
You see, he just
So
said
if
it, but
it,
that's
yeah,
then he's like, then really, he's like, never mind, I'm not gonna do
I
it.
just checked. It's a 4 week wait on Children of Bone, so I'm
What?
gonna have to read something else.
No,
And
you said you
I,
were
I
gonna
already
buy
I already put the
it.
hold on it.
You said you were
I
gonna buy it.
I too am being budget conscious.
Oh my God, how much does it cost now? Like $10 probably on Amazon. Let's see.
I think so.
It's so old. Well, it's not old, but like, let's see. Let's see. 8 9 8 26 paperback.
So you know what you could do at 826 these days?
Exactly. That's like a month of Crunchyroll.
Okay. Okay.
That's like one subway ride or one-way
Yeah.
subway ride.
Fine, guys. Fine. Fine. Um, but you see, just like that, now it's over. No book club for me and James. We won't be reading the book at the same. Actually, I'll wait. I'll wait for you to get your book in four
Yeah.
weeks, and
Yeah,
then I'll
it
start
says
reading it with you.
4 week wait. So
Okay. That's fine, I guess. All right. And then did I do anything else? Let me see. No. Oh, yesterday I went to watch, I was bored, me and Spivey. So we went to the movies and we saw Snow White, um, which has gotten a lot of mixed, actually, no, a lot of mostly negative criticism online. And at first I was like, I don't want to see it because the internet is already telling me all I need to know about this movie. And like, I don't know why Disney keeps doing these live action movies that don't need to get done. But we were bored, so we went to go see it just to form our own opinions about it. And I will say it was a heavy waste of an hour and 49 minutes of my life. Um, there were a lot of things wrong with it, but like the internet is like heavily hating on Rachel Zegler, who plays Snow White in the movie. And I don't really know why she's getting so much hate. She's getting a lot of hate because she criticized the original movie. And like so all of the racists are coming out and criticizing her for being critical of like the messages that the movie promoted when it came out in 1937. And like people are acting like people are acting like they were really checking for Snow White. Like people are so mad that like one, the actress that's playing her is not white and like pale. And I'm just like, why are you guys so obsessed with a movie that like basically was promoting basing like your only value and beauty in like your whiteness? Like that is basically what the movie was. And it came out in 1937. Like, do you guys know what was going on in the world in 1937? Racism, segregation. Like, like this is all stuff that we should not be carrying into 2025. So like people are mad that they like redid a lot of aspects of the movie. And I'm just like, y'all need to calm down. Like really, calm down. But with that being said, the movie was bad for a lot of other reasons, and I think they just set her up for failure. Like the costuming looked really bad. They like her wig looked really bad. Just a lot of things looked really bad, and I just think they just set her up. Like it was really kind of disappointing that Disney kind of set her up in that way. And I'm like, it looks like they hired an intern to do the costuming for this movie. Also, the other things were bad, but like I'm not mad at her. Like she sounded great. They just set her up to fail, and it just wasn't great. It wasn't a great time. That on top of a lot of other things that happened to us in the actual movie theater when we were trying to just enjoy the movie. But it was it was not a great movie, not great, but not because of her, not because of her. Uh, that's all I have to say. Anyway, um, so I did that too, and yeah, that was it. That was all my nerdy things. But if you guys were thinking about seeing it, which I'm sure I don't think you guys were, but don't. You don't have to.
I didn't even
Were
know it
you
was
were you
out.
going to go see each other? Why'd you make that face?
Absolutely not.
I'm like, okay, why'd you say it like that though?
Hey, just you got it right about something that you thought I wasn't gonna do. You got that one right.
All right, let's move into some video game news. Um, in a surprising and very cool announcement that I saw a couple days ago, Game Informer is coming back. So we reported when Game Informer was shutting down. I think we talked about this on the podcast when that happened last year. But
Yeah.
now it is being revived. And I think it's being revived by, is it a game studio that's reviving them? Uh, Yeah. Gunzilla Games secured the rights to Game Informer from GameStop, and they are bringing back the editorial team and everybody on the production team as well. So basically, everyone that worked for Game Informer before, when it got shut down, is coming back to work on this new version of Game Informer. And I think it's going to be a website with like online things, and they're also going to revive the magazine at a later date, like the actual physical magazine at a later date as well. So that's pretty cool.
Yes, it
Um,
is.
yeah, I loved Game Informer. I had a Game Informer subscription, and I used to love when Game Informer magazines used to come to my house. So it's very cool that something that was killed in the game industry can come back, and all of the people that worked to make Game Informer what it was are able to come back with their jobs as well. So, and a lot of people are excited about this. So,
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if y'all had any magazine subscriptions back in the day,
oh,
but
tons.
sounds like you did.
Yes,
And
tons of magazines.
I definitely was subscribed to some video game magazines.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had I'm pretty sure I had a Shoujo Beat subscription. I don't know if I had Shonen Jump. I had yeah, but I at least had one of them. And I used
I
to
had
love
Shonen Jump for
yeah,
sure.
Um,
I used to love getting those. And then I had Game Informer. I had a bunch of like the trash teen magazines that used to come. I forgot the names of them. But I used to have those too. Yeah, magazines. Yeah, we grew up in a good era for stuff like that. I had a ton of magazine subscriptions.
the one I clearly remember is when my uncle the Xbox magazine came out, and my uncle got us subscriptions to that,
Hmm.
and that came with a demo disc every magazine. So that was a great way to like test new games and stuff
Yeah,
like that. And yeah, good days. I'm
yeah,
the game magazines were definitely one of those, like, definitely the most popular genre of magazine that I would read.
yeah. Yep. So I think that you can go on their website now and make an account, and you'll be like up to date on like when things are rolling out. Uh, there's gonna be a membership and subscription benefits on the website as well. So if you make an account, you'll have up to date information on that. But yeah, exciting news for everyone that loved Game Informer. Um, are you guys gonna get back into Game Informer when it launches? No.
I'm gonna
I
check it
spent
out.
money on it.
What do you say? What do you say? You said you won't spend money on it?
No, I don't think so.
Uh,
I
James.
visit the website.
James is like, I don't care about you guys that much.
Hey, I'm budgeting.
That's true. You know what? I need to follow your lead because I already have
Yeah,
enough. I already have enough subscriptions coming out of my account every month. But I will sign up. I will go on the website and just like see what they're offering though. Um,
I might
I
even leave the cookies on so they can get me with some ads.
yeah, I just had to shut off my Hansama subscription. I was like, pause this because this is $30 of my life coming out of my account every month for piling up manga that I haven't read yet. So yeah, I get you. I totally get it. Um, all right, and in other news, there's a rumor, which I mean, so the Nintendo Direct, the Switch Nintendo Direct, uh, is tomorrow. Tomorrow, by the time this podcast comes out, Best Buy Canada leaked that pre-orders for the Switch are going to start on the day of the Direct, but that was since taken down, and no other Best Buy has confirmed it yet. So we don't know if that's true. I don't know why it wouldn't be true. It probably is, since we're like 2 months away from the predicted launch. So I'm sure that pre-orders will start tomorrow, but I guess we'll see when the direct happens, and we'll talk about it next week as well. But the other Nintendo Direct that happened where they like highlighted some of the games, was there anything in that caught you guys' eye? I didn't watch it.
Game
Um,
wise,
the,
not really.
Yeah.
so the Nintendo Direct was pretty much. I feel like it was like this is the last wave of stuff coming for the Switch One. The best thing, the one of the games that got me excited though was the new Marvel game coming out. Marvel, let me get the name of it. I think it's called like Marvel Conquest, Cosmic Invasion. It looks like Teenage Mutant. It's made by the same company that made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge, and it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. I think I forgot how many characters there are to choose from, but there's a whole bunch, and I think you choose two of them and can switch in between them, and then you can still do the four-player co-op. So that's the potential of like 8 characters being used. So it seems like they used not used, but like inspired by like Marvel vs. Capcom and stuff like that. So it looks amazing. And the first thing I thought when I saw this game was, is it coming to Xbox? Because that's what my brain is conditioned to do now. Is it coming to Xbox? And fortunately, it is. But if it wasn't, oh well. I guess I'm gonna have to wait till it comes to Xbox or P. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm probably not buying a Switch just to play this game. But that's the point that we live in right now. But it's coming to Xbox. Um, they did introduce the new game sharing feature that's gonna be going forward with Nintendo. That
Yes.
they are turning their cartridges into virtual cards. And now you download the virtual card and you can load it into your system, which is like putting it into the system and eject it. You can loan it out to friends for 2 weeks at a time. You can like if you had another console or like a family group, your family group you can share it out to your family group and like download it onto copy it onto other consoles that you own
Cool.
somehow. So they're changing up the way they're games. I don't know. I guess it was mainly for game sharing to show how to share the digital games. But
So
what do you guys think about that?
so wait, I'm a little confused. So wait, is this an addition if you buy a game virtually, or are they taking away like the
No, this is how you will purchase the game. All the games will be
all the games
virtual
now
cards.
will be virtual cards and no longer
Mhm.
physical cards. So
Well, I
they
don't know if there's no longer physical
well, okay,
cards,
that's
but
okay.
like this is how the digital side of it's gonna go. I don't. They didn't say like we're not making any more digital cartridges. They didn't say that specifically,
Okay.
but
Because
it looks like they're going towards that.
that's what I was concerned about as we were trying to like kind of like tug back into like a middle ground of digital physical. Are they like completely severing off their digital copies? But like, are they not? So like, is there a limit on like how you can share these games? Are they not concerned about game sales if you can share your virtual game
Well,
with like?
you can
Yeah, it's bad limits.
it
Okay.
there's a lot of like you can only share it with them for 2 weeks at a time,
Oh, got it, got
and
it.
I'm
Okay.
assuming when you loan it out to them for 2 weeks and it comes automatically back to you, I'm assuming that you cannot play this game yourself while your friend has it, which
Yeah.
I would
Nah,
look at
yeah.
as a
So
downside.
it's like a working copy version. So like if somebody has it loaned, you can't play it because it's essentially ejected from your thing. And then you can
Got
only
it.
share with one other, like you have to connect accounts basically. So you can't just be like, oh, anybody that has a Switch, let me loan it to
So
you.
you can
So
only connect one account at a time. Okay, okay,
yeah,
okay.
you got to
That makes sense.
connect accounts. And then even if you have multiple Switches yourself, you can only connect to one other Switch that you own. So then like you can play it on, let's say you have the fully handheld version and your home version, you can sync between those, but then that's the only two that you can have linked at a time. So
Got it. That makes
at least for
sense.
now, they may change it later on, but and then even in your family plan, like it's a X amount of family members that you can lend it to all at once. Well, not at once, but just in general.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, 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 cool. Because I was like, isn't this? But that's a smart way of doing it.
Yep,
I much rather the here's a pass for 2 weeks and now we can play together. Like,
that would be neat.
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Maybe they'll change it though. Um, when it comes out and then they see how well it's doing, they might tweak it later to make some of those changes, but I guess we'll see. More companies should be open to game sharing in that way. Like it's so hard. Well, at least on Sony, it's kind of hard. It like more companies should be more open-minded to that type of stuff. Like it doesn't have to be a bad thing to share your games. If you put the right limitations on it, like Nintendo did. I think that's a good example. So,
if I'm not mistaken, I think there are some games on Xbox that you can do that, like give
mhm.
your friend a pass to it and y'all can play together for like 2 weeks. I know you can definitely do it with Game Pass as a whole. Like I can give somebody like a 2 week trial to Game Pass, and that's similar to what we're talking about.
Well, yeah, but like aside from like Game Pass, but like if I purchase a game,
Mhm.
like
There's some games that do that. Like It Takes
mhm,
Two. I think that game you can do that. You can
like
like give your friend a code to copy down the game to play for a couple days with you.
right for I mean, but it makes sense for co-op games, but like I'm talking about like for any game, really.
Right.
They do
Yeah.
have game
Mhm.
share on PS5. It's a similar thing where they
Hmm.
can even play offline, like console sharing,
Hmm.
but it's like a timed thing
Yeah.
for sure. So
But this is a little bit, I think this is a little bit of a better way of doing it. But that's cool though. Anything else from the direct, Jaja, that caught your attention? Even though you don't play Switch, you don't have a Switch.
Um, the other game that was supposed to be the big is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. They showed that. Uh, yeah, it's another Metroid Prime game. It looks like all the other Metroid Prime games. So like I'm not super excited for it. I'm sure it's gonna be a good game, but it doesn't look like anything mind-breaking. She's on a new planet. She gets some new powers. She gets like psychic powers now, so she can guide her bullets and use telekinesis on certain objects. But besides that, the Metroid Prime. I'm a little bit concerned because it looks like it's coming out for. They didn't say whether it's coming out for the Switch One or Switch Two. I'm assuming it's Switch One, which kind of sucks with the Switch Two like so close to being here. Um,
Wait, is it coming out
I
for the
would
first one? Wait, is
they didn't say yet which one
Yeah.
is coming out for. We
okay.
don't even have a release date for it. It's
Okay.
just they just showed the game, so it's like, is this Switch Two graphics? Are y'all gonna like make an updated version for the Switch Two? Like, or is this like the best of the Switch One? Like, are you trying to show us the, like, because this should be with what 8 years the Switch has been out. This should be like, the best of the best for the Switch,
Yeah.
taking full advantage of the hardware. But besides that, nothing else really caught my eye. Oh, something else did catch my eye this direct. Apparently, the game Patapon 1 and 2 and Hot Shots Golf. Do y'all recognize those titles at all?
Hot Shot Golf, yeah, of course.
Yeah, both of those.
At the first one, no.
They're Sony titles
Yes.
from, I think, a Japanese studio that they closed because they, didn't think they were being profitable enough, or they didn't want to make AA games, or they didn't see how they would be able to use these IPs. But apparently they do know how to use them because they're giving them to the Switch. So this is more technically like third party publishing coming from Sony.
Yeah.
It looks like they teaming up with Nintendo a little bit, but it's interesting to see that.
Yeah, for sure. Um, it is interesting.
It kind of reminds me of what Xbox did with Tango. Like they shut down the studio and then gave the IP and then used the IP to made moves with the IP after the studio was closed.
Yeah.
Kind of like reminds me of that. And then not to mention Sony has a ton of IP that they can just bring back whenever they want.
Yes.
Like speaking from someone who's going back through like a lot of retro games, there's so many good Sony games that they can bring back. I
Oh
know we
yeah.
complain about remakes and stuff like that, but
No, no, no.
like
I don't
there's a
complain.
reason why these remakes sell.
Yeah.
Nostalgia.
No, no, no. I don't complain about remakes when it makes sense. Like old games from back in freaking PS1 days. Yeah, remake those and give them to me. I'll take it. But like I feel like they're remastering from a point in time where like games don't really need to be remastered from. They could go further back though and remaster.
Remastering one generation back.
Yeah, remaster all the classics. Like give me a remastered Ape Escape. I'll take that.
And Sly
Uh
Cooper.
yes, Sly Cooper. Oh my God, I love
Mhm.
Sly Cooper. I was just, you know what? I was just thinking about that game the other day. Those are the games that need to be remastered because those are really fun.
If you
Uh,
go back to PS1, PS2, that's where a lot of the creativity was at with
yeah,
Sony. A
yeah,
lot of different games,
yeah,
different genres, everything.
yeah. So like, let us not waste our time remastering The Last of Us, which is not even that old of a game. Can like go all the way back and remaster like the original games, please. That is what the people want, I think. So that's the issue is that they're not going back far enough. Uh, at the Nintendo Direct, they also announced their app, right? Their
Yeah, Nintendo
Yeah.
Today.
yeah, Nintendo Today, where they're gonna deliver news and just other stuff for Nintendo fans. And just really quick, I'm gonna jump out of video game news real quick, just because this goes hand in hand with what we're talking about. They use this app to announce a release date for uh their live action Legends of Zelda movie, which is March 26th, 2027. Yet another thing that we
2 years out.
didn't ask for. But they use it to announce that. But there are no other details on the movie so far. But we had talked about this before when the rumors first started circulating about this. something I'm very, very nervous about how they're going to execute successfully. We're going to have to see. Um, you would think in a live action movie that centers around Link, there would need to be some kind of dialogue in there,
Yeah,
but
because Link does not talk.
Link doesn't talk, so I guess we'll see what that's going to be about. But maybe it's not going to be about Link. Maybe it's going to be about something else. Maybe it's going to be about Zelda, like primarily. Who knows? I don't know, but we'll see. Uh, but we have that to look forward to in 2 years, I guess. Uh, cool.
Well, real quick, while we're on the subject of like old IPs and what people are doing with that, I don't know if y'all saw that Ubisoft reached a deal with Tencent. Did we talk about that?
Mm-mm.
To create a 4.3 billion mini Ubisoft subsidiary to spearhead development on new Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six games. So they created a whole subdivision that's going to be and Tencent is investing in them pretty much because they will still have control of what they do with the IPs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that they bring back some of the old games that were really good, like Rainbow Six 3 on the Xbox. Bring that back. Don't do nothing to it. Just remaster it and make it run for the current gen, and I'll be fine. That game is amazing. And Far Cry and there's some Assassin's Creed, like Brotherhood. I want whatever game was online for Assassin's Creed, bring that back with the online play, please. So I just wanted to mention that real quick.
It's a lot of money too. So, uh, all right. Let's get into Jaja. Do you want to talk about do you want to take us into Xbox?
Yeah, so there's a huge conversation going online about the future of gaming right now. Apparently Xbox leaked a photo of their new UI or something they're working towards, and it's pretty much a picture that says opening a billion doors with Xbox. If you zoom in on the UI, there's a tab that says Steam. So that had everybody going nuts and saying, "Oh my God, you'll be able to play Steam games on Xbox. What is going on? Is Xbox steaming up with Steam? Are they doing something they're not supposed to be doing?" And then the next conversation was, "Oh my God, Xbox is going to be able to play PlayStation games that are on Steam. Oh my God, what's this? Is Sony going to block that?" That's the whole conversation going on, right? So meant to talk about that last week, but from the week before, when I was talking about how basically Xbox needs to merge PC and console gaming, and if they're successful in doing that, it'll change the game, right? So my take being repeated online after it came out. But anyway, I got to continue that take because I think a lot of people are dropping the ball here, and maybe even Microsoft and Xbox need to hear this because this is more of a Microsoft thing. So we all know SteamOS dropped, and the SteamOS for the mobile, like people are taking the SteamOS that dropped for the mobile gaming and are putting it on like a Linux operating system called Bazite and testing it out and seeing how that works for PCs. And they're coming to find out that games are running a lot better through this SteamOS that doesn't have all the background processes that Windows has. So a lot of Windows PC gamers, like a lot of PC gamers are like fed up with Windows. They don't want to use Windows. They'll do anything not to use Windows because Microsoft has dropped the ball on PC gaming and not provided a way for people to play, have a like to me, this is what needs to happen. Microsoft needs to come out with a whole OS for PC gaming.
Mm-hmm.
It don't have to have anything to do with Xbox itself.
No.
It needs to be an OS operating system for PCs that are optimized for gaming, that doesn't have any of the background stuff happening that no one wants or needs, that Microsoft is pushing on everyone because whatever. Like, let it be a do. Some people might do boot with Windows. Some people might just want their PC just to be a gaming console. There are people who want that. So for all these years, they've had that market to themselves and not done nothing with it because there hasn't really been any competition. And now that SteamOS is coming out, it's a brand new market that
Yeah.
people are running to. They're trying to make so with Xbox's next console being more PC-like, it's even more important that they have an OS that can handle that.
Yeah.
So I think that's the next move. Whoever makes this next OS for gaming PCs, and that not only like should it play your whatever the company is games, it should be able to somehow access everybody's games, because that's the new problem that everybody's like talking about right now. Oh, exclusives are going away, but everybody, I don't know if y'all heard the term a wall garden is what they've been using recently.
No.
Basically, is when you create an ecosystem that like it's hard to leave. Like the Xbox, your gamer tag, that's a wall garden. Like I can only buy Xbox games, I can only play them here. I can't do it anywhere I want. And so people are like, all these wall gardens now, people are trying to get all their games in one spot,
One spot, yeah.
and to be and to make it like user friendly, because right
Mm-hmm.
now on the PC, if I wanted like through Xbox, if I wanted to play an EA game, I gotta open the EA down dashboard and then launch the game. Like there's a lot of like stuff you have to go through. So if they can just find a way to make it easy, it would be great. Because I don't know if y'all heard, Xbox just came out with a update last week that when you try to play a game, it came up with a pop up, and they tried to introduce this thing called the Games Hub that had a whole bunch of features about the game, like it'll tell you your achievements, the community stuff, and all Xbox gamers got mad because you had to press A an extra time to get into the game.
What?
Yeah, and they retracted it very quickly.
That seems like
So
okay.
yeah, gamers are very, high maintenance. So you gotta make things easy for them, clean, optimized. So yeah, it's we need that OS, Microsoft. I'm sorry. I know you don't want to hear it, because they should have learned this lesson with the first Xbox when they had to sneak and steal the Windows from the server and cut out most of the code so that it booted up quicker. You know what I mean? They should have learned from that. But they should have this gaming OS is needed for the PC. Well, it's here. Steam is here. So once that
Yeah.
drops for the PC, if they don't, create something for that, then Valve will Valve will have what they wanted. Because you remember when Valve came out with a console in like 2015, 2016?
No.
They've been trying to get into the market for a minute. So they might have found their lane.
Did
This
they come up
OS
with
I hear is fire.
what console did they come? Sorry, I'm trying to
It was,
remember.
it was like a Steam
Oh,
console.
no. You mean like
Yeah.
this? Okay, got it. Um,
That's my rant. That was my PC gaming rant. So I don't hear anybody talking about like a PC gaming OS except the people who are testing out Steam. But I think
yeah.
that's
I mean, for
super
right
important.
now, but like, who's to say that? Like, I mean, I feel like they probably are because like that makes sense. Is a logical step. So like, maybe they are working on it, but it's
It
just not here.
it can't be like an app or like something that goes on top of Windows. It has
Mhm.
to be something where I don't need Windows. Like
You
if
should
they
write.
do this on Windows, it's gonna be issues.
You should write them in. You should write them an email about this, and then
This,
be like, hire me though, and I'll do it. I'll do it
this
for
is
you.
this is just a
Email them your ideas.
PSA. We need a window and a window like a gaming OS straight
We'll
up.
we'll cut this and we'll tag them when we post this clip so that they see. And hopefully they don't steal your idea without crediting you.
No, steal it, because I want gaming to be successful in the future. So, and this is needed for everybody.
Um,
Even though Microsoft, if they create a gaming OS that's a smash, it's gonna be like Windows all over again. Like stupid profit
yeah.
from making a piece of software that everybody's gonna use.
But speaking of that though, about like softwares where like everything is accessible in one place and like you're not constricted in like all these different things. I was and this goes into kind of like what I want to talk about this week. Netflix, even though Netflix I don't think is an expert on this at all. We know that they've like launched into gaming recently, but like uh the president of games at Netflix, he was on a panel and he was saying that like this generation of kids upcoming, they don't care about like consoles anymore. And that like the accessibility of games in other ways, like via cloud gaming and like mobile and like things that are more accessible is like stuff that they are really caring about in this generation. And that like the generation of consoles is kind of like slowly coming to an end the more that we roll into like these games like being kind of everywhere uh with multiple avenues of accessibility. So that kind of reminded me of that a little bit. um what do you guys think about that?
That's interesting to me, because like when I think of consoles, I think of like people our age. Like I don't know if the younger generation is into consoles like us, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if they aren't.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either because of the way that like technology is going and the different ways you can play games now. It's like, and I think like probably Xbox played a large part of this, like with their cloud gaming. It's like if I can play my game on my phone, like why do I care about the next like Xbox console, or like why do I care about like the next PlayStation when like my games are kind of like I can take my games everywhere else via like, you know, uh
And also,
the
you don't
cloud.
want to get stuck in an ecosystem. It's like if
Yeah,
there's a
exactly.
Sony game, like, do I want to really buy this Sony game that I can only play on a PlayStation? Like, and then depending on where my libraries are, like, do you want all these different libraries of games?
Yeah, exactly. And that's like the age, like you were saying, like the age of exclusive games is coming to an end because it's like, yes, that is basically pretty much locking you into something. And I don't think anyone wants to be locked down like that anymore. Coming up in this generation, they all want to be free to do whatever they
Mhm.
want and play games wherever they want. And the consoles are constricting in that way. So like, I kind of agree with this. Like I do think that we're coming up on an interesting time for consoles where it's like because of that there's not as much of a demand for a specific thing. So it is going to be interesting when the next generation of consoles comes out. Like it's going to be interesting like the demand to upgrade when we are kind of where we are right now. So I I agree. Like
I'm around
I'm
high schoolers a lot, and I mean most of them actually don't even game, but the ones
yeah.
that do, they usually just play like whatever multiplayer game, and then
Mhm.
each iteration of whichever sports game they're into. So like 2K or something, they just
Yeah.
buy that yearly. They don't really play like huge uh titles, like release titles. So like no one's talking about like God of War or anything like that. Like they're
Hmm.
talking about Coach, do you play Marvel Rivals or something
Yeah.
like that? So most of them pretty much just either have a Switch, PlayStation, or they just game on their computer. So
Yeah.
no one really like I don't say kids aren't gaming anymore, or at least high schoolers aren't gaming anymore, but it's not like a priority. Like they're just pretty much just on TikTok all day. That's
Oh
all they
my
really do.
God, guys,
That's
this is why game studios are closing. The Gen Z and lower are killing video games for the
I
rest of
saw
us.
I saw an Instagram post. I don't know if I sent it to you guys, but it had like it was like what we played for like 10 years, and it like let's say it like had Halo 1, Halo 2. I don't know if it was all one game or like different games that we played at different years, which were the most popular game. And then it was like this generation, what they've been playing for the last 10 years, Fortnite.
Yeah. You
That's
know what?
that's almost pretty much exactly how it is. A
Yeah.
kid just asks like whatever something new happens on Fortnite, they'd be like, Coach, are you gonna play this Fortnite event? I'm like, I don't even play Fortnite anymore, man. But that's pretty much all they play is like free to play games that are just getting constant updates,
Yeah.
which is why it makes sense that a lot of people are trying to go to a live service thing because I mean, the age group that I work with, that's pretty much all they play.
Yeah. And like things that are quick, I noticed too. Like I read a study like because of TikTok, like the younger generation like has like a very, very small attention span. So it's like when you think about that and like this generation is like addicted to TikTok and like TikTok is king or whatever in this generation, which is sad, but it's true. Um I don't think that because of people's attention spans being the way that they are, I don't think younger generations have patience for the God of Wars and like the long drawn out RPGs that are hours and hours and hours that the rest of us love, or at least me. But like, I don't think that, I just don't think that that's where their mindsets are.
They're not playing those. They hop in
They're
Discord with their
not.
buddies, play a couple rounds of whatever, and then let's get back on TikTok, boys.
I know. And it's kind of sad though. I don't know. I don't like the direction that the world is going in that regard. Cause that means like if becoming less a demand for RPGs and like less really good quality RPGs are gonna get made. And then this is kind of the cycle that we're gonna be in.
I was gonna say it doesn't help that like the gaming industry itself hasn't done anything to move this in the opposite direction. They've been feeding the monster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, but like, what
Like
can they do?
stop throwing billions of dollars at AAA live service games that are
Oh,
gonna
true.
cancel
True,
in a
true, true,
year
true. That's true.
and make
Yeah.
let's get back to some quality AA experiences. Like
Yeah. But
everything doesn't have to be like video games has gotten too Hollywood.
yes. Yes.
Like, yeah.
Go back to the basics. Drop a fun game, people are gonna play. Astrobot, I'm having the time of my life. And I'm just
Yeah,
running and jumping. That's all I'm doing.
simple, simple, simple. You're still gonna be done with that, right? To let me borrow it.
Yeah, I should be.
Look at that. Now he doesn't sound sure. Okay, we'll see. If
Well, I forgot that they dropped the DLC, but so I don't know what my true progress in being finished with the game is. Because like you know how
got it.
like it shows X% done, but
Hmm.
does that count as DLC? I don't know. And then I'd be missing some of the bots in the worlds. So I'll have to go back to the worlds, replay them, see if I can find the missing bots and the missing puzzle pieces. It's a lot of stuff that you got to collect. But
Okay.
mainly, I want to get all the bots. If I get all the bots, I think I'll be good. But story-wise, it's like the story is the PS5 is essentially a rocket ship, and then they sit in outer space. It crashes or explodes, something like that, and then you got to put all the pieces back together. So I got like the CPU, RAM, memory sticks. I think I got the hard drive too, maybe. And I think you have to find the covers. So I got like 4 out of the 5 missing pieces, but I think you got to put the white casing shell on it too. So I think I got to find that as well.
Interesting.
So I got most of the pieces, but
You think?
percentage wise, it says like 30%. So I'm like,
Oh,
Wow.
how far am I in the game?
not.
You think they're gonna make Astrobot the mascot?
Isn't
I
Astrobot
think
already
so,
the
yeah.
mascot? I thought he was.
I
I
feel
thought
like
so
he's too
too.
new to be
Yeah, I'm not sure
officially
when
the
it would be.
mascot.
I thought he was the mascot. Whatever. Okay.
They do
Either
sell a lot
way,
of Astrobot merch though.
yeah. Because didn't they have like a before Astrobot the game even came out? Didn't they have when the PS5 came out? Didn't they have like an Astrobot hub or like something like that? When the do you not
It was
do you?
called
Oh yeah, there
Astro's
was.
Playroom.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
it
Yeah,
did. They had some.
yeah. So he is the mascot unofficially. Um. Okay. Yeah, but that's just the way. That's just so like back to what I was saying before about the consoles. Yeah, I think we are actually slowly moving away from consoles. So when the PS6 comes out eventually, and the next Xbox comes out, we'll see.
It,
Just make sure
it's
you can
no
use
longer.
Discord on it. Whoever puts TikTok on their device first, they win. That's who's really going to win.
I was gonna say this. It's no longer console wars. It's about to be content wars.
Yeah. Well, let's because
The
TikTok
battle of the storefronts.
the we'll see what's gonna happen with TikTok because the delay of the TikTok ban, the end of it is coming up like this week, isn't it? So
It's supposed to be April, right?
yeah. So I guess we have to see what even happens.
Well, TikTok's back on the app stores. I don't know about iPhones,
Oh, I don't have an iPhone. I don't know. I
but
mean, I never deleted it, so I don't know if it's yeah.
Oh yeah,
like
April 5th is the
you
deadline.
can update it. It updated its term and conditions in the US. So I don't know if that's like a thing of the past.
No, well, it was a delayed ban until the 5th. But I haven't heard anything like we're coming like the 5th is this week. I haven't heard anything in the news at all about like if the ban was going to resume or anything like that. So like well, I guess we'll see. But I don't know. Yeah, so TikTok is making this generation very very quick paced low attention span. And I also read that like people use TikTok now more than like regular search engines, which is also not great. Uh so yeah, we'll see.
Mhm.
We'll see we'll see how this affects the next generation of consoles for sure. When they do come out. Um all right. Let's move on to some TV movie news. Well, wait, is there anything else before we move off video games? All right, TV movie news, guys. So there was a live Marvel did a live stream a couple days ago where they announced all of the cast of Avengers Doomsday. So we've been talking about this a lot. Like Doomsday is coming out next year. We didn't really feel like there's a lot of lead up going into this movie, mainly because like they Kang was supposed to be their big bad, and then they had to pivot from that at the last minute. So we've talked a lot about like how the story leading up to this point seemed very like disjointed. But this is a massive cast list for Avengers Doomsday. So I'm very, very interested to see how they're gonna pull this together, guys. So in the cast so far, 27 cast members unveiled. So it includes all the cast of Fantastic Four, which comes out in a couple months. Then X-Men, a ton of original X-Men cast. You have Patrick Stewart in there, Professor X, Ian McKellen as Magneto. You have Nightcrawler, Alan Cumming in there, Mystique, Cyclops, James Marsden, Kelsey Grammer as Beast, and then Channing Tatum as Gambit. So most of the original X-Men cast is supposed to be in this movie, which is kind of crazy. Then you have the Thunder. Then you have a couple people from the Thunderbolts cast are going to be in there. The Thunderbolts also comes out. Thunderbolts comes out next month, I think May, if I remember correctly.
I
And
think so.
then yeah, and then you have a bunch of the original Avengers cast. You have Chris Hemsworth in there. Uh, you have Anthony Mackie in there, Sebastian Stan, Letitia Wright, Paul Rudd. Uh, uh, I'm sorry. How do you say his name? Tanov? The guy that played Namor in Black Panther. Uh,
Knock, knock
Is
fortune.
that how you say it? Okay. Louis Pullman, Danny Ramirez, who was Falcon in this Captain America movie, and David Harbour, who was Red Guardian and Black Widow, and he's gonna be in Thunderbolts too. You have Winston Duke, who's gonna be in there. Uh, Hannah John Karen, who is also gonna be the Thunderbolts. Tom Hiddleston, who's Loki, obviously, and then Robert Downey Jr. So, what do you guys? So, okay, so this cast list, this massive, massive cast list. What kind of expectations do you guys now have for this movie? Like, how do you think this is going to be pulled off? I think Simu Liu is going to be in here too. I thought I saw him on the original. I thought I saw him in another article, but I didn't see him in this article. But I'm pretty sure he
That
was announced
Shang-Chi?
also. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. Well, I saw his name on the chair. I watched
Okay.
the trailer of that.
Okay. What kind of expectations do you guys have now? Any?
Not sure. No, not really.
Okay.
I think that I don't think it's gonna be everybody gets a whole lot of screen time. I think
No,
it's
no, no.
everybody's
Absolutely
gonna be
not.
shown.
Yeah, absolutely not. I don't think the X-Men are gonna get a lot of screen time. I think it's gonna be like a quick cameo. We have heard
What?
Marvel's. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be like a. Well, maybe
I
not,
think we're
but
getting X-Men versus Marvel.
you think that's another rumor that's going around. You think so?
Yes, I think we're getting X-Men versus Marvel. I
Hmm.
don't. But James, you read Unlimited, right?
No.
New Avengers and Unlimited, where you have to go back and forth, and then it's all about the incursions. So yeah, when I had my Marvel Unlimited subscription, I read like I think I talked about it on the pod. I was going back and forth between New Avengers and whatever two stories you had to read at the same time, and it was leading up to all this incursion stuff. For the people who read those comics, like this just did it. This did it. I'm super hyped for this movie. I'm like almost as hyped as I was for the first Avengers, because this storyline, if they do it right and make it make sense live action, it's gonna be absolutely amazing. It's gonna be
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah. I mean, the Russo brothers are coming back to direct this film, and they've never missed in all the movies that they've directed. They've done Captain America: Winter Soldier, they've done Civil War, they've done Infinity War and Endgame. Some of the best movies in the MCU. So I'm excited for it in that sense, where it's like I trust the people that are creating it. Uh, it is really going to be interesting to see how they pull this all together, what the overall story plot's going to be. So I guess we'll really find out, or we'll get hints of things when the Fantastic Four comes out and when Thunderbolts comes out. I guess they are gonna like, I mean, they have to do a lot of legwork connecting this movie to those two movies. So I guess we'll see. Uh, but
Not
it is,
necessarily. I feel like a lot of the legwork is done. Like Marvel, Monica's already in the other. She got stuck in the other universe. Who I'm assuming that's the universe that's gonna
yeah,
be have the incursion with 616, and that's a X-Men universe.
yeah. I mean, but like, I mean, I guess like we don't have the full cast list. Is Monica even gonna be in this movie? Is like,
It has to be.
yeah, I mean, I guess because Marvel did say there's more to come, but like the cast they announced, like they didn't mention Monica, they didn't mention Brie Larson, they didn't
Mhm.
mention Kamala Khan,
Kamala.
they didn't mention like, but like that's not to say that they're not gonna be in the movie, but like they weren't unveiled in the
There,
cast, they weren't unveiled in the cast list. So
there's a rumor saying like there's like this is only half the cast.
yeah, yeah, I don't
So
know. This sounds very ambitious. This sounds very, very, very ambitious. And
they
I'm just thinking of Endgame, where it's like if you think about the cast list of Endgame and all the people that ended up making an appearance at the end for the big battle, they didn't, they didn't get a lot of screen time. So I guess we'll see what the idea is with this large. Like
it
are they
I
gonna
was
be able
gonna
to tell
say
a story with all this cast, or is it just gonna be something, like we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna shut up about my expectations for it because I have none. I'm just gonna see when it gets here.
I'm super pumped. And I even think in the end game when all those characters drop, that whole end scene where that whole fighting scene is like one of the best action sequences in the whole freaking MCU. Like that,
I know,
everybody
but
fighting together.
we led up to that really well, though.
Mhm.
Really well. But like, I don't know. Next year, so after Thunderbolts comes out and after Fantastic Four comes out, I am going to do, finally, I've been talking about this forever. I'm gonna do my full Marvel rewatch, including all of the shows and all of the movies, in like past phase four, like phase four and beyond. I'm gonna start from the beginning though. I'm gonna do a full thing so that I'm gonna go into this movie an expert on if they built up to this correctly. So, because like I don't know, I just feel like it's just been a bunch of like scattered plots, and like I don't think that they've been building up a strong story leading up to it. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Finally
But
The
watch Moon Knight.
incursion. If
what?
it
I know. Yeah, finally, finally, I'll finish Moon Knight, and I'll
it
yes.
it literally all depends on how they do this Doctor Doom with Robert Downey Jr. Like Doctor Doom, we all know he's important in Secret Wars. He's super important in Secret Wars, but how are they going to pull off the him looking like Iron Man? There's a million ways they could do it with the multiverse thing.
That's what I'm
And
saying. Like, there's already this movie already has like a lot to prove in that aspect alone. So it's like that on top of also integrating all of these characters, integrating the X-Men. I just feel like this is a very large, ambitious project that could easily go wrong. So I mean, I guess
what's
we'll
the
see.
next one? This one is called Secret Wars, right? Or
No,
is
no,
that the next
this
one?
is Doomsday, and then
So
Secret
yeah,
Worlds is
so
yeah, they're different.
I feel like we're not gonna get everything in this movie. I
No,
feel like this is both movies we're talking
well,
about
yeah, it'll
right here.
be. I think it's gonna be very similar to Infinity War and Endgame, where it's like a two-part thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah. Um, but again, very like it's super, super, super ambitious, and it's like they already have to do a lot. Like I think like we got half of people's buy-in and approval for like Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Doctor Doom. So I don't know. I just feel like they have work to do with that to make us like believe that, and then they have work to do properly integrating the X-Men, which I know that they've started to like sprinkle them in, but like really, it's still been kind of like all over the place. So we'll see. I I am cautiously optimistic about it, is what I'll say.
This has the potential to bring the MCU back 100%.
Yeah, if they do it
Yeah.
right. If they do it right.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
James, are you excited? You seem like you're not.
Nah, not really. I just show me Spider-Man. That's all I want to see.
That's all James cares about.
I'm not a huge fan of all this
Fanfare.
one, multiverse stuff. Everything is multiverse now. And
Yeah.
then two, I gotta watch 30 other movies because it's 30 characters from everything. Just show me what I want to see.
Are you even gonna see Spider-Man in this movie? I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
They
they
didn't,
haven't
they
announced
didn't
it
show it.
yet. And apparently Spider-Man 4 is being filmed at the same time as this. And Tom Holland just did an interview recently where he said that he knew he was in talks with Kevin Feige. He knew Robert Downey Jr. was coming back before it was announced. And everybody's like, that's kind of shocking that like you're the person who like spoils you leak
Yeah.
mad stuff and
I'm
we're gonna
surprised they
tell it
told him
to
that.
you
Yeah.
and not tell it to Benedict the guy who played Doctor Strange.
Who
Like
was
he had to
also
text
not in
Robert
this cast,
Downey.
not in this cast list.
Yeah, he had to text Robert Downey and be like, "Oh snap, is this real?" Like, and then Tom
Yeah.
Holland was like, "Yeah, I knew." So that makes me think Spider-Man 4 and this movie will be linked in some way, somehow. Maybe Doctor Doom might cameo in Spider-Man 4. That's a rumor going around.
Yeah. Do
They
you
just
think
casted the girl from Stranger Things to be in Spider-Man 4, but we don't know who she's gonna be. I forget her name. I'm
wait, I
sorry.
thought they cast her to be in Spider-Man?
Spider-Man 4, yeah.
I thought there were rumors about casting her to be Jean. Okay, about an X-Men, like to be Jean.
Oh,
I thought that.
maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Because I think I heard both.
Okay. Do you think that they made a mistake in like I know that they're trying to like garner excitement around this movie. Do you think that it was a mistake to announce all the X-Men cast that's going to be in this movie? I think it was.
I think that's what got me hyped. That's what
It
got me
got you
thinking we're
hyped.
getting an
So,
X-Men versus Marvel type of
but
thing.
are you going to be mad if it's not that?
I'm gonna be mad if this movie sucks regardless for whatever reason.
But are you going to be mad if it's not that storyline?
If it's good, no.
Okay. Okay. I just think so just going back to like the mistake of them heavily promoting the Red Hulk and Captain America Brave New World and how that turned out to be very anticlimactic. I think that like this is something that they probably like all the original X-Men cast that they announced is probably something that I honestly would have chosen to keep close to the chest and just like let that be a surprise so that there's not because like now this movie comes out next year. Now all that there is going to be hype around like how the X-Men are involved in this storyline, and that can only lead to disappointment. That can only lead to disappointment after all
I
of the hype for the next year.
I think about it with the like Deadpool and Wolverine movie, how like they finally like put him in the right suit and didn't think it was gonna be a corny thing. Like I feel like that's gonna translate, and we might get some good X-Men stuff coming out of this. I'm super hyped for this movie.
I mean, again, like I trust who's doing it, so like I hope that it's good. But I just think like if it was me, I don't know. I just wouldn't have announced that. I would have just kept that close. I just would have just let that be a surprise, honestly.
And what's crazy, before this announcement, I was ready to come on here this week and be like, I'm not hyped for like the MCU. I feel like the MCU, like I feel like I was the last standing hype man. And it was dying down until this post. This post just actually resparked.
I know. And now you're hype about it. And
Uh-huh.
now like it has no choice but to be I mean, it had no choice but to be great
Epic.
anyway. Because I think like if this movie comes out and it is not good, then I feel like there's pretty much no hope for the MCU. Like if this comes out and is a flop, then I think it's pretty safe to say that the MCU is officially dead. I don't know. That's my thoughts. So,
I
it's
feel
like,
like
because if you
I
can't
feel like
redeem
this is
yourself,
like
if mhm.
GTA 6. Like it's too big to fail type of thing.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like this movie, like if this movie on this scale is not good, then it's like what else can you like where can you go from here? What else can you do that'll top it? I just feel like that's kind of like kaput. Like I feel like if this is not good, then like it's already been like so many years of Marvel like releasing these projects and everyone's just been like kind of like hanging on waiting for this movie and the next Avengers movie where I feel like there's nowhere to go from there if this is not successful. So we'll see. We'll see.
Hmm.
But yeah, now there's an enormous amount of pressure on this movie because the X-Men are in it, and now the fan theories are they're only gonna go wild and grow for the next year. So good luck.
The,
Good luck
the
to the Russo
budget for
brothers.
this movie must be out of here.
Yeah. Good luck to the Russo brothers. They have a lot to do. Do you guys think this movie's coming out on time? Because this movie's supposed to come out next year, and like they're just going into production now. I won't be surprised if it gets delayed, but we'll see.
I
Still
have
early
hope.
in this year, so
Yeah,
it could come out holiday season next year. I could be
it
that's
takes
almost 2 years still.
it takes a long time to. No, it's supposed to come out in May next year. Like, there's a date for it.
Oh, May next year. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
they're professionals.
Let's see. I just want to verify that. Yeah, May 1st, 2026.
Yeah, well, this ain't their first rodeo. They know how to get
Yeah,
a movie done.
yeah.
I mean, we
Um,
don't have much coming in between, right? It's just Thunderbolts at
and
this point. We
and
got
Fantastic
Captain
Four.
America. Oh, Fantastic Four is the next big. Oh, those two.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
hmm Um, Fantastic. Yeah, Thunderbolts comes out in May, I believe. Fantastic Four comes out in July. So we have those two movies, and then a little bit of a wait until this movie. Uh,
Fantastic Four, really. If that really should set this movie up. If that, I think a lot banks on that movie.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, I think so as well. So we'll see. Good luck to Marvel. But again, I'm not hoping for Marvel to fail. I was a huge Marvel fan. I'm not as huge of a fan as I was back in the golden years. But like, I don't want this movie to fail. I want it to be good because I want to believe in Marvel's ability to tell stories again. I do. So hopefully this is what we need to like bring people back in. So we'll see. And if they introduce X-Men correctly, and then now they have a whole bunch of X-Men stuff that they can do. Finally, live action. Everyone's been waiting for Disney to do something with the X-Men for a couple years now, so we'll see. Uh, all right. I feel like we've been talking a lot. Uh, does anyone have any? I feel like we can get away with not talking about the AI stuff. Does anyone have anything else that they really want to get in for this episode?
No, no.
That was it. I think I got all my
Yeah.
thoughts out.
Yes. All right. Well, guys, thank y'all for joining us for another week of the podcast. As always, you can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram at Blerdsnerds, follow us on TikTok, Blerdsnerds_pod. Yes, please follow us on TikTok, guys, while TikTok is still here, and hopefully it still is here
Yeah, you
next
got a
week.
week.
Hopefully it's still here next week. But yes, follow us on there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I know that you guys are living in a world where your attention spans are short. And I remember somebody commenting on one of our TikTok videos where I told them to they took the context of something we were saying in the video, and I was like, you have to watch the whole episode to get the full context. And he was like, I have a short attention span. That's why I'm on TikTok. Literally, someone said that in our comments. But bring your short attention spans over to the podcast. Listen to the whole thing while you're doing whatever you're doing. Listen to it on your commute to work. Email us, blerdsnerds@gmail.com, if you are a creative color in the nerd space and want to come on our show to talk about your work, or if you have anything that you want to hear us discuss, email us. And yeah, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your podcast app of choice. As always, I'm Shannon.
James.
I'm Jaja.
Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
Peace.